special edition on a Saturday. McKeesport taking on Laurel Highlands in some non-section boys basketball action. I'm Mon Valley Independent Assistant Sports Editor Jose Negron, joined by my broadcast colleague Naz Victoria. Naz,
Good afternoon.
Excited to see this one, one that we usually would see each year. A pair of former section foes in Laurel Highlands and McKeesport, and this is one that we're interested in seeing how it goes. Last year, McKeesport picked up a thrilling victory over LH, but this LH team, Naz, isn't your normal high school basketball team.
No, it's not. And it's a new team, kind of.
Yeah.
There's a lot of transfers that came in, and then you have the number one player in the state, Rodney Gallagher. So that adds a little bit to the intrigue here this afternoon.
Absolutely. This one should be interesting as we have our pregame meeting going on near mid-court. But McKeesport started out their season with a nice victory over Mount Pleasant last night, so they are 1-0 coming into this matchup, and this is the season opener for Laurel Highlands. And you mentioned, Naz, Rodney Gallagher, probably one of the best players in the WPIAL. Not probably. Definitely one of the best players in the WPIL coming into this season. It should be interesting to see what he does. We've seen other guys on this team too. Keandre DeShields, we saw him in the summer league this year. We saw Caleb Palumbo, so they're pretty stacked.
Yes, there's a lot of guys that we're familiar with here. You got Dunny Rowe over on McKeesport's team, Colton Kovach, Rob Robinson. That's just a few, and really, they held Mount Pleasant last night to 17 points.
Yep.
So I'm looking for McKeesport to have a pretty good defense, and I know that there's some fireworks on Laurel Highlands offense, so we'll see how that goes.
And this McKeesport team is balanced. They have some balanced scoring. You mentioned Traveris Rowe, who's entering his sophomore season with some high expectations. Rob Robinson, who was a guy that we also saw in the summer league. Colton Kovach. Bryson Kassan brings a lot to this offense. And Dustin Strom, we know him as a baseball player for McKeesport's baseball team. A very good baseball player. He's actually come out for the basketball team, and he had 16 points last night in Mount Pleasant.
He was their leading scorer?
Yeah, he was their leading scorer in the win against Mount Pleasant last night. So going to be an interesting one here. We will take a little bit of a pause here going into the introduction of our starting lineups in the national anthem, and we will be back.
Sounds good. All right, we're back.
We are back, and take a look at the starting lineups here as they have them on the scoreboard. And I'll start it out with the McKeesport side. We have number 0, Bryson Kassan. Number 1, Colton Kovach. Number 2, Rob Robinson. Number 23, Traveris Rowe. And number 24, Kariki Andrews. For Laurel Highlands, we have number 1, Keandre DeShields. Number 2, Rodney Gallagher. Number 5, Caleb Palumbo. Number 12, Brandon Davis. And number 21, Nick Egnott.
Nick's a returner from last year.
Nick is
he
a
was
returner,
their
yeah.
big boy.
A very good contributor to the success of Laurel Highlands last year. Of course, the Mustangs, the reigning WPIAL champions, got to see them a couple times last year in this gymnasium and also in the Whippeal semifinals against Thomas Jefferson, and got to see how legit Rodney Gallagher was. And obviously we got to see it all summer long as he was the MVP of the Mon Valley Independent Summer Basketball League in Elizabeth. But
he's a champion.
he is a champion, and we'll see how Laurel Highlands can start out their repeat attempt as McKeesport's starting lineups get introduced. And of course, McKeesport led by head coach Kevin Kovach. And coach was very glad to see his group get out to a nice start with a win against Mount Pleasant. He said it was a shorthanded Mount Pleasant squad, only eight players.
Yeah.
But this will be the big early season test for these McKeesport Tigers, as they have some aspirations. You know, they want to be successful this season, and you know, I know every year Coach Kovach has those expectations of playing for a Whippeal championship, and that's something that he hasn't been able to do so far in his short tenure here at McKeesport. But he wants to make this the year that they get into contention for a WPIL title.
Well, it looks like he has a little bit of size inside, and like we said a little earlier, the guard play from Laurel Highlands. Laurel Highlands has 4 guards more or less and a big man. Although Keandre DeShields is not small.
No. As we get set here for the opening tip here from the Nene Campbell Gymnasium. Keandre DeShields and Colton Kovach will take the tip. And we are underway. McKeesport will take it. Bryson Kassan inside. He will go for an early hoop, 3 seconds in. And it is 2-0 McKeesport. Now Rodney Gallagher controlling. Gallagher looking for a teammate. Nice double team from McKeesport. He's going to be able to get it into the hands of teammate Brandon Davis. And now Davis drives past Traveris Rowe, and the foul called on Rowe.
On Rowe?
Or on, who did they call the foul on?
Yep, Rowe.
Is it Rowe?
Yes, sir.
You know, I'm used to Rowe being number 50. He's number 23 this season, so that threw me off a little bit. But there's
that's
almost a turnover as
Good
Kovach
hustle.
goes diving into the Gatorade coolers. And it'll stay Laurel Highlands ball.
So Brendan Davis, is he one of the transfers?
I'm not exactly sure. I know Keandre DeShields. I wasn't really sure if they had more than one transfer coming in.
I believe they had 3.
Caleb Palumbo gets it back to Keandre DeShields. Shields gets past and takes a jumper. And it goes. It's tied at 2-2 on a nice shot by DeShields. Now Bryson Kassan controlling possession, gets it over to Rob Robinson. Robinson guarded by Caleb Palumbo. Robinson looks for an open teammate, gets it back to Kovach. Kovach now back to Robinson. Robinson looked inside for Kassan, but he gets hit by Nick Egnott, and that's going to be a foul.
You know, right now Robinson has Palumbo on him. Robinson can go inside on that.
Yes, he can. Those two were teammates. Farmers Insurance team this summer, and nice bucket there by Kariki Andrews. to give McKeesport the lead back.
Ronnie Gallagher out front. Hands off to DeShields.
Now Palumbo back to Gallagher. Gallagher a deep three.
Nice
No
shot.
good. And nice offensive rebound by DeShields. And DeShields goes up, but he can't connect. And Bryson Kassan gets a defensive rebound. He goes the other way. Kassan
Nice
to the
take.
hole. Nice take. And it's 6-2 in favor of McKeesport. And now it's going the other way.
So what year is Kassan in?
Bryson Kassan, I believe, is one of Elizabeth Forward's seniors,
No, McKeesport.
or McKeesport's seniors.
Okay.
One of 6 seniors on this Tigers team. There's Colton Kovac, a bucket doesn't fall, and now Traverse Rowe, a nice offensive rebound. He gets it out to Rob Robinson. Robinson looking inside, kicks it out to Andrews. Andrews for a corner 3, doesn't connect, and it's rebounded by Egnon. DeShields the other way, gets it over to Gallagher, who gets it across to Davis, and Davis up, and that's a foul on Rob Robinson. And that will send Davis to the charity stripe. First one no good for Davis. Second one is good for Brandon Davis. Cuts the McKeesport lead in half. It's 6-3.
McKeesport's playing a lot slower of a game than I would have expected them to.
Yeah, not too much of a fast-paced first 2.5 minutes here, as maybe both teams trying to feel each other out in the early going. As Traverse Rowe goes up and he draws the foul.
It's on DeShields.
Keandre DeShields, and Rowe will go to the line to shoot 2. And as you got to coach Traverse Rowe this summer, what did you see from him this summer, and kind of the progression that he had throughout the year?
I thought Traverse was a great player to be. I mean, he definitely averaged a double-double, and he was also our leading assist producer, so he plays an all-around game. He hit 2 free throws there.
Good free throw shooter.
That's where he needs to improve a little bit, is on his shooting, but he's young, and offense will come. I mean, he's a very good defensive player.
Laurel Highlands looking to respond here, as DeShields going to take a 3. That doesn't fall, and nice rebound by Rob Robinson. Now McKeesport looking the other way. Bryson Kassan takes it across midcourt. He'll attempt a 3 of his own. That doesn't fall, but a nice offensive rebound by Rowe. Rowe goes up and can't convert. DeShields a defensive rebound. He gets it up to Gallagher. Gallagher draws the foul, but gets the bucket, and he'll look to finish the 3-point play, as Colton Kovac will get credited with a foul. And Ronnie Gallagher gets his first points of the day, and he will look to add to that. And usually when Gallagher goes to the free throw line, it's pretty much automatic.
He's an incredible shooter. He really is. And he worked into that. Early on last year, I didn't feel he had a great shooting form. But he wasn't a, who's that?
That's a foul on Bryson Kassan.
They're picking up fouls left and right here early, huh?
As Palumbo went up for the defensive rebound. And
so anyway, so Rodney, and he must have worked hard, and by summertime, he was shooting deep jump shot 3s, which is impressive.
I don't think there is an area on the court that he can't really shoot from.
I'm in agreement. And it's so important to be shooting jump shots. I try to tell the kids all the time, you know, you can't. Nice steal.
Steal there by Andrews. He gets it up to Robinson. Robinson going to convert on a turnover.
I try to tell kids all the time that they need to practice shooting jump shots in order to really be able to get off a shot. You need to shoot a jump shot.
Absolutely. Caleb Palumbo misses a three. Now goes the other way. Rob Robinson going to the hoop. Rebound by Rowe and a putback. And now a timeout by.
And that's what Rowe will give you.
No, a foul called. Not a timeout.
Who'd they call this foul on? Foul or a technical?
Not sure what the call was here.
I think it's on 24. I don't know.
They called something on Andrews, but nevertheless,
nothing went on the board either.
Still Laurel Highlands ball. I don't know what the whistle was for, but Gallagher takes a three. That one's airballed and rebounded by Andrews. And now McKeesport looking to continue this nice little spurt that they have going on. Kassan goes to the hoop. He gets his own rebound and then can't put it back. Kovac with a rebound. Gets it back to Kassan past the three-point line. And then McKeesport will look to.
Nice play.
Nice play by Caleb Palumbo. He picks Kassan's pocket and then hits it off Kassan for the turnover.
Nice, new player in the game.
Nice rebounding there by McKeesport to keep possession, but they're unable to convert as Aiden Pratt enters the game for Laurel Highlands in favor of Nick Egnott.
Dustin Strom came in from McKeesport.
Dustin Strom is.
Pratt's another transfer from Uniontown.
And now Gallagher with possession. Gets it over to Brandon Davis. Davis looking inside, guarded by Robinson, and he is fouled.
That's his second.
That's a second foul for Rob Robinson, and McKeesport starting to rack up those fouls as that's the fifth of the first quarter.
Davis takes it to the hole nice.
And now he's reaping the benefits at the free throw line. Davis
sunk the first.
Went 1 for 2 from the line earlier in the quarter.
Phenom Marion's in the game.
And he goes 2 for 2 here. Now 3 points for Davis on the day as Laurel Highlands trims their deficit to 12-8 with 2.5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Kassan guarded heavily by Gallagher. A 3 attempt by Dustin Strom. That doesn't fall. And now Kassan for 3. And that connects. 2:16 to go, and it's 15-8 McKeesport on Bryson Kassan's three-pointer. 7 points for Kassan now in the early going as Gallagher hits a 3 of his own. Now 6 points for Rodney Gallagher. Kassan looks for an open teammate. He has Phenom Marion. Gets it across to Traveris Rowe. Rowe draws the foul on Keandre DeShields.
That's his second.
And now Terrence Thomas Brown will come in. And Caleb Palumbo will head to the bench. Sand inbounds to Strom. Strom to Rowe. Rowe inside to Marion, and Marion.
That's his third.
Yeah, it looks like they said there was no shot. So instead of trying to complete a three-point play, McKeesport will just be inbounding it. But, I mean, Keandre DeShields just picked up his third foul, so maybe
that's big.
Take that, because that is a big, big development. Defensive rebound by Jaden Pratt. And now Laurel Highlands the other way. A 3-ball by Thomas Brown doesn't fall. And now McKeesport the other way. Kassan controlling the offense. I think Kassan's done a very good job in the early going offensively. Kovac can't convert, but Phenom Marion will draw the foul, and he will go to the free throw line.
Who's that foul on? 11.
Looks like it was on number 11, Caden Phillips. And first one goes off the front of the iron and away. And
So when DeShields was in the game, it looked like he was playing point guard for us. Well, for us.
for Laurel Highlands. I don't think we're coaching this.
Yeah, for Laurel Highlands. So now Rodney Gallagher is still not handling the ball as a primary ball.
We have Brandon Davis handling it up court as he looks for an open teammate, and Traveris Rowe doing a good job of containing Rodney Gallagher here. Gallagher holds it onto the ball, gets it over to Brandon Davis. Now Davis looks to get by Bryson Cassan. He loses control for a moment, and a double dribble called. Another turnover for Laurel Highlands. Now 40, just over 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. McKeesport still holding on to a 15-11 lead.
When Rowe puts out the effort on defense, he could really play defense.
And that's probably the guy that you want on Rodney Gallagher throughout this game.
Yeah, put some size on him, a little bit of length.
Caden Holtzman's now in the game for Bryson Cassan. Kovac guarded by Pratt, gets it back to Rowe, and Rowe gets it inside to Marion, and Marion called for a charge. And the ball will go back to the Mustangs. 22.7 seconds to go. You'd think maybe LH holds onto the ball here for as long as they can. Try to get the perfect shot. No need to rush anything down by 4.
So much for that.
Nope. Rodney Gallagher shoots it right away, and Rodney Gallagher converts. What am I thinking? What do I know now?
As soon as I saw him get the ball, I was thinking, this is not going to be a hold situation.
3 seconds to go. Rowe inside to Marion. Marion loses control a bit and can't get a shot off.
Well, we saw a really good first quarter, 15-13, McKeesport at home. Foul plague, though. There's been 11 fouls called so far.
Yes, a very, I don't know, sloppy first quarter. You feel like, this is first game for Laurel Highlands, only the second game for McKeesport, second in 2 nights, or in 2 days. So you'd think that this is something you probably expect after a delay to the season and kind of everything that's gone on.
Plus the magnitude of this game, I would imagine that both teams were a little nervous,
yes,
knowing each other rather well and coming in here, a little bit of filling out, kind of like an early in a boxing match.
A bit of a rivalry that's kind of developed here between these two teams. But good first half as we look at the scoring leaders so far. Bryson Cassan leading the way for McKeesport with 7 points. Rodney Gallagher, who didn't score until the 4:44 mark in that opening frame, with 8 points. He was able to score 5 straight for Laurel Highlands in the final 2 minutes. But McKeesport was held off the scoreboard in the final 2:16 of that quarter. They got to get that offense going. But then again, they did kind of sub out a little bit. They brought some new faces in, keep everybody fresh. So maybe a bit expected. As we get ready for the second quarter, and Rodney Gallagher controlling it for Laurel Highlands. And
offensive foul. Illegal pick. I think it was on 12. No.
I'm going to call it on Caleb Palumbo. It's Palumbo's first of the game, and
Team 6.
you did mention, Naz, how this is kind of a slow-paced game at first, but it seemed like it kind of sped up as the quarter went on, as Rowe goes inside, but he can't convert on either of his 3 attempts.
I've seen that a lot.
He tried to throw it off an LH defender, but the LH defender caught the ball. Now it goes the other way. Gallagher to the hoop, and he converts.
So smooth. So smooth.
That's just what Rodney Gallagher can do. He has scored the last 7 points for this LH team. Already up to 10 on the day. And there's Rowe.
Oh, they gave him a technical? No way.
Rowe gets a technical called there, and it is going to send Rodney Gallagher to the free throw line.
That was a bad call. That was a very bad call.
I guess for hanging on the rim, is
yes.
that what they...
He pulled it down a little bit on that follow-up, but, I mean, I don't think that there was much he could do about it.
I guess the refs thought it was a little excessive, and now Rodney Gallagher will head to the line. And he misses the first. Don't see that very often from Gallagher. He makes the second. There's a 17-16 lead for McKeesport. It's less than a minute into this second quarter. Still a LH ball after the technical call on Traverse Rowe, but that McKeesport bench is pretty fired up, so I don't know if they might just take that 1 point that they give away.
Might be a good point to give, huh? We'll see. We'll see how Mr. Rowe plays after this. That is his second foul, though. That's the bad part. I mean, he's a primary defender.
Davis to the hoop. He is able to convert inside, and
he's able to get to the hoop pretty easily.
LH takes their first lead of the game. Now LH the other way again.
Who's that?
And that's number 4, Terrence Thomas Brown for the bucket. And a timeout called here.
That technical turned things around a little bit.
Just a little bit, as the momentum has shifted towards Laurel Highlands, and the Tigers haven't been able to get much aside from that dunk by Rowe. Like I said before, they were held scoreless in the last 2 minutes of that first quarter and really haven't been able to bounce back. A 12-2 run for Laurel Highlands since the 2:03 mark of that first quarter, and Rodney Gallagher has really paved the way. 8 points during that little spurt there for them now.
Yes, that's what Rodney does. When you need something, he's the guy that they'll go to, and he'll bring it back for them. Foul trouble might be something down the line here that we might have a problem
7
with.
fouls for McKeesport, 6 for Laurel Highlands.
More importantly, the fouls are on key players.
Yeah.
DeShields has 3 for LH, and Robinson and Rowe both have 2 for McKeesport. If that continues, that can make it tough on McKeesport more so than LH later on in the game.
Absolutely. So we'll get ready to resume play. 6:34 to go here in the second quarter. Laurel Highlands with a 20-17 advantage. First lead of the game for the Mustangs.
Rowe's on the bench now.
On the court for McKeesport, Kasan, Kovac. As a whistle is blown here.
Yeah.
Justin Strom. We also have Phenom Marion and Kariki Andrews. On the court for the Tigers. Here's Kasan, nice take, and he's able to get to the basket for 2, and Kasan now up to 9 points on the day and a 1-point game once again. As Laurel Highlands misses an opportunity there. Now here's McKeesport the other way. Kasan looking for an open teammate. Trying to get Phenom Marion set up inside, and Kasan gonna drive. He's able to get up and take a shot, and he's fouled by Terrence Thomas Brown. And Kasan will head to the free throw line.
This Kasan boy's good. Very good.
He's been a key role player for McKeesport over the last few years, and seems like this year as a senior, it's probably the year where he takes over as one of the team leaders. Obviously, this McKeesport team having to replace a player of Diamante Diggs' caliber, you need guys like Bryson Kasan and Rob Robinson, Colton Kovac, even Traverse Rowe as a sophomore to step up and be leaders on this team. As Kasan Able to go 2 for 2 from the free throw line to give McKeesport a 21-20 lead. Sand now up to 11 points on the day. Now Rodney Gallagher brings it across midcourt. He's heavily defended by a double team consisting of Kassan and Marion. Now Gallagher driving in. He gets it to Nick Agnott. Agnott inside and a block by Kassan, and it's going to go out of bounds, and it will be.
I don't know. He didn't
make a
call.
No, it's going to be McKeesport ball. He did not point to who was in possession of that ball.
I think
so that was
Coach Kovac is making a good move by doubling Rodney every time he gets the ball up top.
You got to force some of these other guys to hurt you.
Right, exactly.
Santa miss a rebound there by Rossetti Robinson, who has just entered the game in favor of Andrews. Kovac floater doesn't go. Rebound by Jaden Pratt, and the ball, of course, back into the hands of Rodney Gallagher. Gallagher for 3. Doesn't fall. Nice rebound by Pratt, and Pratt going to get a putback. And the Mustangs are back on top. That's Pratt's first bucket of the game as McKeesport goes the other way. And now here's Sand, gets a nice pass from Marion, and a 3 ball by Kovac goes in and out, but a rebound by Dustin Strom. Strom put a jumper attempt, rebounded by Kassan, and Kassan able to convert.
Kassan's doing it all for him.
He is. Now
13 points, 3 rebounds. Oh, nice pass. Nice pass.
24-23 on that bucket by Nick Agnott. McKeesport looking to respond. A back and forth affair here in the second quarter. Robinson's shot doesn't fall, and now Laurel Highlands pushes it up to Gallagher. Gallagher a floater, rebounded by Pratt, and Pratt draws the foul as well, so he will go to the line to attempt to complete the 3-point play.
Pratt's made some noise since he came into the game. He has 4 points and 4 rebounds so far. That was a very nice play right there.
Trying to make it 5 points on the day. Trying to make this a 2-possession game at the charity stripe, and Pratt hits it to make it 27-23 with just over 3.5 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And a foul called here.
On 11?
On, not on 11 on the court.
No.
For LH, as Kassan will head to the free throw line.
That was on Brandon Davis, his first.
Kassan misses. That's still a 4-point game, and Laurel Highlands will take possession.
There was a foul there. They're coming down shooting one-on-one.
Shout out to Naz for keeping track of the stats here in the scorebook. I'm doing a little bit of play-by-play.
Who was that foul on?
I think it might have been a foul on maybe Kovac, Colton Kovac.
Nope. Misses the front end.
Pratt misses that one. Still a 4-point game.
That was on Kassan, his second.
Bryson Kassan second, as they have now updated on the scoreboard. And there's a foul. Looks like it's going to be on
Davis again, 12?
I think it might be on
Well, these guys are not doing a good job of showing us who the fouls are on.
It's going to be on Agnott.
21.
Agnott's second foul. And Rob Robinson goes to the line. He misses. So 3 missed free throws here.
Okay, that was a 2-shot foul, not a 1-1. Robinson had some big games in the summertime.
He did. He goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line to still keep it at a 4-point game. Robinson was a part of that really dangerous Farmers Insurance team. Finished as the runners-up. McKeesport goes the other way after the turnover.
That was a nice pull-up.
Pulls up for 2, and it's 27-25. With just under 3 minutes to go here in this quarter. Palumbo inside to Egnott. Egnott able to convert. Lead back to 4 for Laurel Highlands.
Coach Kovac needs to get Rowe back in the game.
Bryson Cassan back to Rob Robinson. Andrews for 3. He hits it.
1-point game now.
29-28 LH after Andrews drains the 3. He's now up to 7 points. And now Egnott draws the foul, and he will go to the free throw line with a chance to complete. I guess he didn't make that. He did make it.
Oh, yeah.
I thought I was
that's the
I
third
was
foul
crazy.
on Robinson.
Third foul on Rob Robinson, and Egnott able to convert there, and he will look to complete the 3-point play. He will not be able to do that. Still a 3-point game, 31-28 in favor of LH. So over to Holtzman. Holtzman can't connect. He's battling for a loose ball. No call by the referee. It's going to be off an LH body and out of bounds. And as we haven't seen Keandre DeShields since that first quarter when he got his 3rd foul.
Yes, I don't.
Hasn't seemed to make much of a difference just because LH has had guys that have been able to fill that void. Now here's Holtzman to the corner to Andrews. Andrews being guarded heavily by Davis and Gallagher.
Comes Rowe back.
Traveris Rowe gonna re-enter the game. Phenom Marion to the bench. 1:26 remaining here in the opening half. A 31-28 lead for Laurel Highlands. At halftime, we'll break down a little bit of the first half. Thank some of our sponsors and take a little break. As Cassan goes inside, but he can't convert. Gallagher with a defensive board, and he's going to take it the other way for LH as LH looks to expand on their 3-point advantage. Palumbo for 3. Another big rebound by Jaden Pratt. He gets it out to Gallagher. Gallagher fakes the 3 to Palumbo. Palumbo lets one go. And that's no good. And Andrews gets the rebound. He gets it into the hands of Traveris Rowe with under a minute to go here in the first half. Andrews out to Holtzman. Holtzman lost control of it, and then he tosses a pass away from Andrews, and that leads to a bucket by Pratt. Five-point lead for Laurel Highlands. Cassan cuts that back 3 with a bucket of his own.
25 seconds left. Looks like they're going for 1 here.
Now Gallagher for 2, can't get it. Now it's going to go the other way. 4 seconds to go. Cassan, he's going to take a 3. That doesn't fall. He gets his own rebound.
No bucket.
And the putback is no good as he was able to convert, but it was after time expired. And at halftime, we have a 3-point game. Laurel Highlands, a 33-30 lead over the McKeesport Tigers. We knew this one was going to be a close one, Naz.
I think the
3-point
second
game
quarter
here now.
when Coach Kovac started subbing in, he did a lot of heavy subbing because of foul trouble. That's when Laurel Highlands started taking advantage of it.
Yep.
They lose something when Keandre DeShields comes out of the game, but Jaden Pratt came in. He gave them 7 points and 6 rebounds.
Yeah, and looking at it too, it looks 5 of those points came in the last 3.5 minutes of that second quarter. He was able to come up big. Nick Egnott also, all 6 of his points in the last 4 minutes. So the combination of Pratt and Egnott really led the way for Laurel Highlands when there was a span there where Bryson Kassan and Kariki Andrews were the only ones scoring for the Tigers.
Well, if you noticed, that scoring came along when McKeesport went much smaller. They were very small. Robinson at one point was the biggest man in the game, and then Rowe was the biggest man in the game at the end there.
Right.
So they might need to keep their size in there to keep Laurel Highlands honest and force them to be outside. I could say something here for Laurel Highlands, though, that is kind of scary. Khalid Palumbo has 0 points.
Yeah.
And that boy can shoot.
Yes, he can.
He can knock down threes.
And you know that when he gets hot, he will just continue to drain threes. We saw it all summer.
Indeed.
We saw it from Keandre DeShields as well. We'll see if we'll see more of him after the 3 fouls in the first quarter alone. But taking a look at some of the leaders in scoring right now, Bryson Kassan has led the way for the Tigers. 15 points in the first half. A good first 16 minutes for Kassan. Rodney Gallagher, 11 points for the Mustangs, but he didn't score in the last 7 minutes of that second quarter. It was really Nick Egnott and Jaden Pratt leading the way for the Mustangs. But Gallagher, of course, with 11 points. Jaden Pratt now with 6 points for Nick Egnott. So they're getting contributions from other guys, and going to be an interesting second half here live from the Nene Campbell Gymnasium. But we'll take a second here to thank a very trusted sponsor of ours, Elite Physical Therapy. Don't get sidelined by a sports injury. Go see Valley native Dr. Emilio Gallus and his staff for all of your physical therapy and sports injury treatment needs. Although insurance does not always cover wellness and preventive care, Elite Physical Therapy and Wellness offers very affordable wellness programs and packages to improve your body's overall wellness and performance. Our programs are top-notch in improving overall health and wellness and athletic performance for all ages. Visit them on the web at www.eliteptw.com or arrange a consultation at 638 Rostraver Road in Bell Vernon.
Well, did you tell the folks that they could get a free subscription to the Mon Valley Independent for the next 60 days?
I don't know, Naz. You want to tell the folks that they can receive a free subscription to the Mon Valley Independent for the next 60 days? Nah, it's all right. I'll do it. Are you looking for the best local news and sports coverage? Look no further than the Mon Valley Independent. The newspaper is currently offering a great deal of 60 days free for our electronic edition, which easily gets you through the winter sports season. Visit monvalleyindependent.com today or call 724-314-0030 to register for your free e-edition and follow your favorite local sports team and get the best local news and sports coverage.
We also have MVILive.com.
MVILive.com, which I think people know about considering they're listening to this broadcast. But if they don't, visit MVILive.com.
Well, I don't know. They might just know about our YouTube channel for this broadcast.
There are 14 viewers watching this right now, so
we're famous.
Thank you to those 14 people. Also, Naz, did you know that we have a podcast now?
Oh, we do, tomorrow.
It will be filmed tomorrow and released at 1 o'clock.
That'll be on MVI Live as well, right?
But let me tell you more about it. It'll be wherever podcasts are offered, including Spotify. Not only does the Team MVI bring you the absolute best sports coverage each day, but now we've gone down the rabbit hole of podcasting. Join sports editor Jeremy Salou and myself, along with our cast of characters as we discuss this week's sports news, sometimes with a special guest. Join our crew this Sunday as we return to Perked Up Cafe in Charleroi. Listen to us, support a local business in the process, and then at 1 o'clock, listen to us again.
Well, I think I'll be on there tomorrow. We'll talk a little bit about the Charleroi-Washington game last night.
Oh.
Talk a little bit about this game
We
here.
will have some special guests tomorrow as well. Timmy Tyree will be in attendance.
Mr. Tyree.
And we will have Emilio Gallus joining
Oh,
us from Elite
that's
Physical
awesome.
Therapy. I believe Emilio Gallus is going to talk a little bit about a certain someone that we know that had a very special coaching career in the middle school ranks.
Who would that be?
Have you ever heard of Jeremy Salou?
Jeremy Salou.
Yeah, he's,
He's a coach?
former coaching legend is what I hear.
Undefeated,
I've
probably.
heard that from him. He's told me that.
He's a legend in his own mind.
But yes, we will have some special guests tomorrow at Perked Up Cafe, so be sure to join us in person. Like I said, support Perked Up. A great bunch of people who have allowed us to kind of infiltrate their establishment and just talk nonsense for an hour or more.
It's
So,
been more the last time I was involved.
yeah, so very thankful to the folks at Perked Up for their hospitality and for allowing us to be able to talk some sports on a Sunday morning. So
Great timing for Tim Tyree to be there. He was Mr. Gallagher's coach over the summertime.
very excited to have him. We had Bell Vernon area girls basketball coach Caitlin Slagus on last week's podcast. So if you didn't get a chance to take a look at that one,
Coach Pergola, he's one of our 14 viewers.
shout out to Coach Phil Pergola.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of Valley legends,
Legend
he's
for
definitely
sure.
more of a legend than Jeremy.
Oh,
110%.
I think he has a couple more wins.
Couple hundred more, maybe. Appreciate it, Coach. Thanks for tuning in. Give us some feedback. Let us know how we're doing. This is my first broadcast since the summer league. I did a little bit of color commentary with Ashley Chase during football season, but it's the first time I've done play-by-play since the summer league, so I think I'm a little rusty, but I think we're doing a good job here. Shout out to Joe Sabalak, our cameraman this afternoon. Shout out to Benny Bamford as well, sitting to my left. He's taking shots of today's game. Of course, I will still have coverage of this game for Monday's Mon Valley Independent. So
We're going to have to see if we could get Coach Pergola to come down there Sunday morning sometime.
we should. Coach, if you're free, you can come visit us at Perked Up Cafe. Get some coffee.
We tape at 10:30 a.m.
10:30 a.m. and the show will air at 1 o'clock. So it'll be right when football starts. So if you're watching football, why don't you listen to the Valley Sports guys at the same time?
I won't be watching football till 8:15
Or
p.m.
or listen at halftime. Who plays at 8:15?
Some team from Pittsburgh.
Oh, Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
good town. Anyways, we're about 3 minutes away as Laurel
Jose,
Highlands and McKeesport take
I have to
over.
interrupt you here.
Yeah,
Are you a Steelers fan?
sure,
Are you a Steelers fan?
maybe.
You're not, are you?
A little bit.
Okay.
I consider myself someone who enjoys watching the Steelers and wants them to do well, you know? But
Well, that's good.
I don't consider myself a fan who just completely avoids the fact that they've lost 4 of their last 5 games in the regular season. Anyways, less than 2.5 minutes to go until this one starts back up again. We'll talk a little more about this on the podcast tomorrow, Naz. Give you a little bit of a sneak preview on some of the things we will discuss. We'll preview, of course, the Sunday night football game between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. But we
So
will
what
also
I-
talk local sports as well.
Whatever I think is going to happen in the Steelers game, I'm going to say the opposite because the last 2 predictions I made
Yeah.
were very poor.
You know, I've been very close on some of the predictions score-wise, but last week I was very close. Just a couple points, here and there, but I did pick the Browns to beat the Steelers last week.
That was predictable.
That was predictable, absolutely. But Naz, what are you looking for here in the second half? I mean, what does McKeesport have to do to kind of get out of this little slump that they have been in? I mean, obviously you mentioned that it's been obvious they've been subbing in and out because of foul trouble, but what do they have to do to climb back in front here? I mean, neither team has really been able to take control of this game.
McKeesport's going to have to keep Laurel Highlands from getting to the – both teams are going to actually have to keep the other team from getting to the hoop. We've seen 2 3-pointers in this game so far. No, 3. I'm sorry. 3 3-pointers made in this game. They're not really shooting a lot of them. Most of the buckets have been gone inside. So if the defense could contain the perimeter and keep them out there, then then everybody's going to, McKeesport will have a chance coming back. Plus, McKeesport's going to get back in Robinson and Rowe.
Yeah.
The Shields will be back. I look for Pratt to get a little bit more time. He played really well when he came in.
Yeah, I think he earned an opportunity. I mean, 7 points coming off the bench. He was a big reason why maybe the Mustangs didn't feel the absence of Keandre DeShields as much as they might have, had Pratt not been out there. So we'll see who starts out on the court for this second half. Again, Laurel Highlands clinging to a 33-30 lead. Thank you again to our viewers for tuning in on this Saturday afternoon. On the court,
McKeesport basketball.
On the court for Laurel Highlands, Caleb Palumbo, Rodney Gallagher, Nick Egnott, Jaden Pratt is out there alongside Brandon Davis. So Keandre DeShields not starting the second half on the court for Laurel Highlands, while McKeesport has Bryson Kassan, Rob Robinson, Traveris Rowe, Colton Kovach, and Kariki Andrews. So their 5 starters are back on the court. So we'll see what McKeesport can do with their first possession. Kassan gets it inside to Kovach. Kovach able to convert, so 13 seconds into this one, into this half. Kovach makes it a 1-point game. Brandon Davis now with it. He gets able to drive past, and Traveris Rowe picks up
his third
foul, less 30 seconds into the third quarter.
And that was Davis getting to the basket again. Well, I guess they called it before he shot it, but
no shot on that one. So Gallagher able to inbound it to Brandon Davis, and
that was close. That was almost his 4th foul. That's his 4th foul right there. That's not good.
Minute and 37 seconds into this third quarter, and Traveris Rowe has 4 fouls.
Why does it say 3?
It says 3 fouls.
The technical no longer counts as a personal? Okay, they might have forgot about it. That's good.
Nice pass by Davis inside to Egnott. He gets it to Pratt, but Pratt can't convert. And now here's Traveris Rowe the other way. Only 3 fouls apparently. Now Andrews for 3. That's off the mark and rebounded by Palumbo, but a nice job by Kassan to get a hand in there. And he's able to turn it over, and Kassan unable to convert on a shot. Now Davis on the other end. He is fouled but can't hit the bucket, so Davis will go to the free throw line. It almost was an opportunity to complete a 3-point play. Instead, Davis will shoot 2, with Laurel Highlands leading by 1, 33-32. He hits the first. Davis is one of the new faces on this Laurel Highlands team, along with Keandre DeShields. He hits both free throws. Now 7 points for Davis.
Jaden Pratt's new also, isn't he?
Rowe to the hoop. And he's able to drop it in for 2.
Oh, that was ugly.
(37-34) now. Bucket by Pratt. (37-34). McKeesport now. Kassan being guarded heavily by Gallagher. Gets it across to Dustin Strom. He fakes it through. Gets it to Traveris Rowe. Rowe now a jumper. And that's offline, and they're going to call a foul here on Jaden Pratt.
They are? Or 12?
That's going to be Pratt's first. Rowe will go to the line to shoot 2. And the first free throw is no good, and McKeesport has struggled at the free throw line here tonight. Only made 4 of
9, 10.
Rowe makes 1 of 2 to make this a 2-point game. Now 9 points for Traveris Rowe.
Let's walk. 12.
39-35 now after.
Davis is getting into the paint way too easy.
McKeesport looking to respond inside to Colton Kovac. Kovac pitches it back to Traveris Rowe. Rowe tried to get it inside to Kovac, but he's able to get it to Andrews, who draws the foul and will go to the line.
I think Gallagher just picked up his first.
Andrews misses the first, and McKeesport's foul free throw trouble continues. And he misses both.
Rowe got the rebound, put back for 2.
39-37 now, LH. McKeesport would really like a stop here. Davis inside, gets a nice pass from Palumbo. Now Davis turns the ball over, and he ends up into the hands of Rowe. Rowe gets it back to Andrews, and Andrews will bring it across midcourt. And that's a turnover on the McKeesport end. Egnott gets it to Gallagher. Now Gallagher coming with speed. He's going to go to the hoop. A reverse.
Nice rebound.
Layup opportunity, doesn't fall, and Kassan gets a rebound. He'll go the other way, and Kassan will convert and draw the foul. Bryson Kassan.
Palumbo picks up his second foul.
Ties the game with points number 16 and 17, and he'll go to the line to potentially complete the three-point play. And he gives McKeesport a 40-39 advantage. 18 points for Bryson Kassan. Now Gallagher inside. He's going to draw the foul. I believe they're going to call that on Creaky Andrews.
Yes, that's the second.
Second foul for Andrews, and with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go here in this third quarter, Gallagher will go to the line.
Free throw shooting down the stretch of this game is going to be very, very important. Looks like they're going to be in one-on-one for the whole fourth quarter like they were for the whole second quarter.
Gallagher misses the second as it goes off the front of the rim, and it is a 40-40 game as Gallagher now up to 12 points on the day. Laurel Highlands will regain possession as they set it, hit off of Traveris Rowe as it went out of bounds. Gallagher defended by Kassan. Drives to the bucket and draws another foul. That's another thing about Gallagher is, you know, he can drive inside and draw those fouls. He can't just hurt you with his jump shots or his three-point shots. I mean, he can hit you at the free throw line as well, even though he misses the first there.
That's Kassan's third foul. That's big. So they have three guys with 3 fouls apiece. He missed the both.
Gallagher misses both. 40-40, game tied. Traveris Rowe looking to make something happen. He drives to the lane. Kovac with a nice rebound, but he can't finish. Now LH the other way. Brandon Davis looks for Gallagher. He gets him. And that's
21.
a foul on Dustin Strom. It's on the floor. And Strom wrapped them up and didn't let him go.
Next one, Laurel Highlands is in the bonus. With 3:50 left in the third quarter.
3:50 left in the third quarter. McKeesport able to force a turnover there on Davis, and Rowe able to convert on the other end. And Egnott converts. It's now 42-42. McKeesport now looking to regain the lead once again. Rowe with possession, being guarded by Davis. Gets it out to Andrews. Andrews kicks it back to Kassan, who tries to get it inside to Kovac. He lost possession a little bit. Now ball in the hands of Dustin Strom. Again, 42-42, less than 3 minutes to go here in the first half.
On number 5,
Foul called on Palumbo.
That's his third.
So it's not like McKeesport is alone in being in foul trouble, because now Laurel Highlands still has 2 guys on the court, in Palumbo and DeShields, with 3 fouls.
That was a nice job by Andrews there.
Andrews' bucket.
He used that body well, didn't he?
42, he did. Gallagher inside, and he's able to convert on a floater. 44-44. Gallagher now up to 14 points. 2:16.
Nice play by Kovac.
Kovac, a nice feed to Kassan, and Kassan is now up to the 20-point mark as he gives McKeesport a 46-44 lead in a timeout here with 2:12 to go here in this third quarter.
Rowe came out and matched his first point total in the first few minutes of the second half.
He did, and I think McKeesport's, they are in foul trouble. They have, Rowe and Kassan both with 3 fouls. Kariki Andrews has 2, but I feel like they've done a pretty good job of, still staying aggressive while, that play right there, late in that first, or late, just a little bit ago where, Traverse Rowe forces a turnover, or Bracey Kassan forces a turnover, and then Rowe is able to capitalize on the steal. That was a pretty aggressive move by both of them to double team Davis on that play, and ended up capitalizing on the other end.
I believe McKeesport could have their starters on the floor at the end of this game. It'll be a very, very exciting finish.
Yes, indeed, and like you said, Naz, free throw shooting will probably be keyed here down the stretch, as this game really has not gone in one team's favor. It's been very back and forth as Rowe gets a nice defensive rebound, tries to get it down to Holtzman. Holtzman saves it from going out of bounds and gets it to Bryson Kassan. McKeesport looking to expand on this 2-point lead. This is a pretty important possession, I think, for the Tigers. Kovac tries to get it, but Andrews a nice offensive rebound. He's able to make it a 4-point game.
And they stepped over the line and turned it over. Goes back to McKeesport.
Turnover on LH. 11 points for Kariki Andrews.
Kariki Andrews uses his body very well.
He does.
I think he just picked up a
good
technical.
game, and now a technical, I think, called on Terrence Thomas Brown.
Yep.
And Kassan will go to the line here and shoot the technical free throws, and that's a big call here with a minute and a half left in this third quarter as Kassan hits the first free throw. This is a big opportunity for Kassan. as McKeesport will get the ball back after this with a 6-point lead.
Technical foul turned it around for Laurel Highlands in the first half. Let's see if that does the same thing here for McKeesport in the second half.
Kassan hits both from the free throw line to make it 50-44 in favor of McKeesport with 1:31 to go. Kovac gets it back to Kassan, and Kassan able to convert. 127, Kassan now up to 24 points. 52-44, an 8-point lead as Pratt gets a rebound and a bucket. A 6-point lead now. And Holtzman now adds one for McKeesport.
Holtzman picks up the foul. Ronnie Gallagher going to the bucket strong once again.
56.3 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter as Roddy Gallagher heads to the free throw line, and he makes the first. McKeesport was on a 10-2 run before Gallagher found his way onto the charity stripe, and he goes 2 for 2 to make it a 6-point game once again. Now McKeesport, Kassan gets it to Rowe. Rowe, a wide open three, and he converts.
I've seen Dunny Rowe hit a few of those.
Just a few.
Wow.
16 points now for Rowe as
That's
foul
all.
called on Holtzman, it looks like. Second foul for Holtzman as McKeesport has a 9-point lead. Gallagher heads to the free throw line once again. He makes the first. McKeesport might be fine with letting LH go to the free throw line as long as they keep scoring on offense.
Especially if they could hit a couple of threes.
Yeah, if they can hit a couple threes, and which they haven't done a whole lot today. Bryson Kassan now being guarded by Gallagher. Kassan trying to go, and he gets fouled.
Did they call that on 12?
It looks like they called it on number 13. DeMonte Kiss. Kassan heading to the free throw line again. Gets the first. Bryson Kassan has had himself a day.
I can tell you this, if I want one of the McKeesport players on the free throw line late in the game, it's going to be this boy.
Absolutely. And then you jinx him, Naz. 25 points still for Bryson Kassan as McKeesport has an 8-point lead. And
Kiss.
Davis with a late bucket. That's the end of 3 quarters here at the Nene Campbell Gymnasium.
.58.
As McKeesport has a 58-52 lead heading into the fourth quarter after that last bucket from DeMonte Kiss.
Tell you what, Kassan and Rowe took over in the second half so far.
They absolutely did. And Bryson Kassan now up to 25 points. He does still have those 3 fouls to kind of worry about. But and Traveris Rowe now up to 16 points. He also has 3 fouls to his credit. Rodney Gallagher still leading the way for Laurel Highlands with 18 points. And he was the big contributor there in that third quarter. Not a lot of secondary scoring for LH like we saw in that first half, where
Right.
Nick Egnott and Jaden Pratt were kind of getting involved. Gallagher kind of did it all himself there.
Yeah, Gallagher
In that
had
third
7,
quarter.
Davis had 4, Pratt had 4.
LH with possession,
Here we
down
go.
6. 8 minutes to figure this one out.
You notice in the fourth quarter who has the ball in their hands, right?
I think number 2 is probably going to have the ball in his hands.
Nice play.
A lot. DeAndre DeShields can't finish there on an alley-oop attempt. And the ball is now in the hands of Bryson Cassan. I figure that McKeesport will rely on him a lot down the stretch. Inside now, Rowe unable to take care of the ball as there's a turnover. Egnott tries to get it. He gets it up to Rodney Gallagher while being triple teamed. Now Gallagher to the corner. Davis to Gallagher. Gallagher wide open 3. No good. Rebound to Davis. And a bucket for LH. A 4-point game now, 58-54. And a three-pointer by Holtzman. 61-54 McKeesport as Caden Holtzman drains a 3. Now 5 points for Holtzman, who's come off the bench and been a nice asset for the Tigers. And that one goes off the side of the backboard and into the hands of Cassan. Cassan going the other way. He's going to take a jumper. He's going to connect. (63-54), a 9-point lead for McKeesport. And Gallagher with a jumper and a timeout called here by Laurel Highlands. Trailing by 7 as Gallagher gets up to 20 points on the afternoon.
I'll tell you what, Laurel Highlands right now, in the last few minutes, they might be playing a little bit too much one-on-one.
Yeah.
I mean, Gallagher's getting it done, but no one else really is. And they need to move the ball around a little bit. They're dependent too much on their athleticism.
I think this is a time where you kind of need guys like Keandre DeShields and Caleb Palumbo to hit shots.
Right.
We haven't seen a lot of Palumbo at all tonight.
No, Palumbo still is scoreless.
He's still scoreless, and Keandre DeShields still only has 2 points because of those 3 early fouls. So they're going to need them here down the stretch for sure. Sand gets it across midcourt to Rob Robinson. I think McKeesport could use some Rob Robinson as well as he goes to the hole. And Robinson gets exactly what McKeesport needed from him as he delivers to make it 65-56, a 9-point lead now for the Tigers. A foul called here, though.
I think that was on Holtzman.
Will send Gallagher back to the free throw line with 6:07 to go here in this one. Gallagher hits the first. McKeesport might want to consider sending someone else to the free throw line.
Right now they have a 7-point lead. I'd be comfortable letting them do exactly what they're doing. And you know what? Rodney can only get 2 points at the free throw line.
That is true.
That was walking.
A turnover for McKeesport. Those are the types of things you don't need at this juncture of the game.
No.
Don't need these mental mistakes.
This is a very big basket right here, or possession rather.
7-point lead for McKeesport, but we've seen plenty of times how an advantage like this can disappear in an instant. Ronnie Gallagher guarded by Caden Holtzman. Gallagher takes a jumper, and that's good. 65-60 as Gallagher hits the jumper to put him at 24 points.
You got a timeout.
Timeout by McKeesport. 5:25 to go here in this one. 4 straight points by Rodney Gallagher after a nice 7-2 run. 7-4 run rather by McKeesport to start this fourth quarter. And Rodney Gallagher has basically single-handedly helped Laurel Highlands get right back into this.
That's what he does. When the chips are down, give the ball to Rodney and let him do what he does, which will be bring your team back.
Have we mentioned that he's only a sophomore?
No.
This is game number 1 of his sophomore season. He did the same thing as a freshman.
Right.
And led his team to a championship.
Yes. And it was impressive because he literally put his team on his back in that championship.
We know Rod has a good amount of offers so far, not just for basketball, but for football as well. But if more teams need to take notice of what he's been able to do, in only 1 year of high school basketball, he's only going to get better.
I've never seen him play football, but on the basketball court, the only thing I can say about it is he's a winner. I mean, he's just a winner.
Kassan now with possession, and it's going to stay McKeesport ball. And got to give some love to Bryson Kassan for the game that he has played. 27 points.
9 rebounds, and he's playing point guard for the team.
27 points and 9 rebounds as the Tigers point guard.
I don't remember him from last year, to be honest with you.
Bryson Kassan.
Yeah.
He's played, like I said, he's played kind of a complementary role, I think, when you kind of get maybe a little lost with a guy like Diamante Diggs averaging 20 points a game. Kassan hits another one, 4:52 on the clock, and it's a 7-point game. Now,
there he goes.
There goes Caleb Palumbo to make it a 4-point game. And we mentioned Palumbo a little earlier. We said once he gets hot.
They just stepped over the line as well.
And there's a turnover by McKeesport.
Is that what happened, Joe? Did he step over the line?
And Palumbo, a shot doesn't fall. And now the other way, here's Andrews. Andrews with Holtzman, but Andrews going to take it himself. He can't connect, and LH gets a defensive rebound. And now here's Brandon Davis the other way, but he's had the ball knocked away, but it ends up in the hands of Gallagher, and Gallagher is able to convert on the other end. A 2-point game once again. As a 9-2 run right now by Laurel Highlands. And Traveris Rowe there with the bucket to make it a 4-point game. Now LH Rowe, a nice defensive rebound. He gets it up to Robinson, and Robinson converts. So as quickly as this was a 2-point game, it is now a 6-point game once again. Gallagher, a deep 3, and makes it look easy.
Yes, he does. He is impressive.
3-point game.
I think you said a couple of minutes ago that he was only a sophomore.
Yeah, he's only a sophomore, in case anybody didn't know. 71-68 McKeesport, closing in on the 3-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. Holtzman now, he's going to take a jumper. He's fouled by Palumbo, and that's going to be number 4 for Caleb Palumbo on the day. Holtzman to the line for
2 shots.
A pair of pretty important foul shots.
These are big minutes he's getting with 3 minutes left in the game.
He misses the first. Mentioned a couple times that foul shooting was going to be important. And the second will fall.
That was a big free throw.
Two-possession game now. 4 points, 72-68, as Holtzman now up to 6 points on the day.
They're going to give Holtzman his fourth foul. And it's 10, so shooting 2 here.
Brandon Davis will head to the line with just under 3 minutes to go. Three-point game. And it'll still be a three-point game, and Rowe and Kassan unable to get the rebound there, and they're going to call a foul there on Kassan.
On Kassan? He was underneath it. Okay, that's his fourth foul.
And DeShields will go to the line now.
DeShields only has 2 points in this game so far. He sat out a lot of it.
Has a chance here to potentially make this a 1-point game. And on that missed free throw by Davis, Kassan and Rowe both had an opportunity at the rebound, and I don't know if they lost sight of the ball, kind of went behind them, and LH was able to regain possession as DeShields hits both, and it is a 1-point game, 72-71 with 2:55 to go. Every possession counts at this point.
I think we said this is going to be a hell of a finish.
I think we did. I think everybody expected this to be a close contest all game. It hasn't, even when McKeesport seemed like they were getting a little bit of separation.
That's on
hasn't happened. Foul called on Jaden Pratt, and that's going to send Traveris Rowe to the line.
This is where these free throws are going to mean a lot.
Naz, did you help Traveris Rowe with free throws during the summer?
No.
Well, good luck, Traveris.
That was too short.
Off the front of the iron and away. They didn't know that there were 2 shots, so now here's the second. And that one's offline. Pratt with the rebound, and LH now an opportunity to potentially take a lead here. DeShields loses control. He gets it back to Gallagher. Gallagher pump fakes there, and he's being guarded by Colton Kovac. Now LH running their offense. Kassan now moves over to guard Gallagher, and Davis tried to go to the hoop, but he's denied, and now the ball is in McKeesport's hands. Rob Robinson with possession across midcourt. He loses possession. DeShields inside. He draws the foul.
Rob Robinson needed to give that ball up there.
Yes, absolutely. Turnover in midcourt, and gives LH now this opportunity
to take the lead. Oh.
And DeShields misses the first, so at best he can tie this game. And he does tie the game at 72. DeShields with his 5th point of the day, and now we are under 2 minutes to go. Bryson Kassan controlling in near midcourt. Rodney Gallagher with some nice defense on him. Now Rob Robinson trying to go inside, and they call a jump ball.
That's Laurel Highlands basketball.
And it's going to go to Laurel Highlands.
That actually worked out for McKeesport better than you could think, because it wasn't traveling.
Yes.
Instead, they have the possession arrow in their favor now.
Now Brandon Davis controlling it. LH slowing down the pace a little bit. Now Robinson defending heavily on Davis. He puts it into the hands of Gallagher. Gallagher gets some distance away from Traveris Rowe. This is who you want on Rodney Gallagher at this point. Now back to DeShields. Kassan on him. Pratt looking for an open teammate. He gets it to DeShields. DeShields inside. He's able to get to the hoop, but he can't convert.
Good hustle.
Good hustle there by Jaden Pratt, able to save.
A minute left.
The ball, a minute left now, and this one tied at 72. Now Gallagher to the hoop, and he gets fouled. 47 seconds to go. And Gallagher draws the foul, and he will head to the free throw line.
Rob Robinson just fouled out.
So no Rob Robinson.
You know, I think that they gave Robinson one of Dunny's fouls earlier on.
Maybe. Gallagher hits both, and it is a 74-72 lead for Laurel Highlands. 31 points for Rodney Gallagher. Closing in on the 40-second mark, and now Kassan goes to the hoop, and he draws a foul.
Well, we said earlier, this is the guy you want on the line at the end of the game for McKeesport. Who did we get that foul on?
That foul charge to Terrence Thomas Brown. Kassan hits the first.
Well, I'm going to make a bold prediction here, Jose.
Okay.
If he makes this one, the ball will be in Rodney Gallagher's hands, and they'll go for the last shot.
Yeah, I consider that bold. Bryson Kassan, 31 points. He has matched Rodney Gallagher. 30 seconds to go in this one. Brandon Davis, guarded by Kassan. The limited fans there in attendance are on their feet for a thrilling finish.
There it is.
Ball back to Gallagher. Gallagher defended by Holtzman. Closing in on the 10-second mark. And a timeout called by Laurel Highlands with 12.7 seconds to go.
I thought they were just going to let that go because I've seen that show before.
You have. 74-74.
This is the game we thought it was going to be,
This
Jose.
is exactly the game that we thought it was going to be.
This is awesome.
Just as advertised.
Yes.
McKeesport and Laurel Highlands. Both teams with 31-point scorers. Rodney Gallagher on the Mustangs side and Bryson Kassan on the Tigers side. 12.7 seconds to go. Naz, what do you come up with here?
I actually thought Rodney was going to have the ball a lot more right there in that possession.
There was a lot of time on the clock, so maybe milk the clock before you can get it into his hands.
I can't see anybody else taking over, but they do have two other players that have the ability to take the ball like that.
That is true, and I think everybody in this gym probably thinks it's going to be in Rodney's hands.
Right.
Maybe you say, all right, maybe one of these other guys step up and make a shot here.
Davis or DeShields could definitely step up and take the ball in there.
Caleb Palumbo as well.
But
back into the hands of Gallagher. He's across midcourt on the McKeesport side. Now under 10 seconds to go. Gallagher with the ball. He tries to go inside. He loses the ball. Timeout. Really? A timeout called by McKeesport with 1.3 seconds to go.
I think there's more time on the clock than that.
Right now there is 1.3 seconds left on the clock.
They're going to give him 2 seconds.
With possession.
So what do you do here? You have two options, at least. I'd say two main options. Either get it to Kassan or get it to Rowe.
Mm-hmm.
If you could get it inside the row, that would be nice. If you could get it to Kassan at all, I would imagine with Kassan having 31 points here, they ought to put a little bit of deny defense on him.
Yeah.
So that's going to leave somebody else open.
Well, on the court they have some shooters. They put 2.2 seconds on the clock.
Who's taking the ball out of bounds? Kassan's taking it out, so okay. I'm going to gamble and say this is going to go to Rowe. We got the Shields watching. He's going to spin on him.
And they get it to Rowe. Rowe gets it back to Kassan. Kassan for three.
He got fouled.
And he gets fouled. Bryson Kassan fouled at the buzzer.
Shooting three.
Kassan will shoot three.
Who's the foul on?
And Bryson Kassan, with no time left on the clock, will go to the line to shoot three.
Only needs one.
Only needs one. He needs one of three. Already 31 points for Bryson Kassan. And he can play the role of the hero.
He's 8 of 10 so far from the line.
Kassan inbounded it to Traveris Rowe, who was able to get it back to Kassan for that final three-point attempt. He is fouled. And he gets a chance. And they're going to put 0.3 seconds on the clock. And he makes the first.
What a game. What a game this boy's had.
So with 0.3 seconds, LH will have a chance to inbound and send one down court. But what a performance by Bryson Kassan. So he goes, attempts his third. And Kassan hits the third. It is a 77-74 victory for the McKeesport Tigers. Bryson Kassan, a 34-point performance.
9 rebounds.
9 rebounds for the McKeesport senior point guard as the Tigers move to 2-0 on the season. They win their second game in as many nights. And LH drops to 0-1. A thriller here at Nene Campbell Gymnasium.
That was a hell of a finish. Yes, it was. That Kassan, he has really done a lot.
And we're going to
get Coach Kovac
over here.
Here, he can take my
for a nice little post-game interview.
Congratulations, big victory.
Thrilling victory. We'll have him take a seat here. I'll give him my headset.
Here. No.
You're good, Jose.
Right.
I don't have the Rona, so I won't give it to you on the headset here.
Good. Well, Coach, a thrilling victory here tonight, or here today, not tonight. What can you say about Bryson Kassan, first off? I mean, 34 points for him. I got to assume that's probably a career high. But what he was able to do today it was just spectacular for your group.
Bryson Kassan's a Division I basketball player. I have no doubt about it. We saw the best player in Pennsylvania, Rod, here. And, I mean, Bryson went man-to-man with him. Bryson's Bryson. I'm not surprised by this. He's the hardest worker. And he can't be guarded going to the basket. I haven't seen anyone that could stop him getting to the hoop. He added the jump shot now, and it's a wrap.
Right. You guys had a pretty extensive lead there in that second half. Let it slip away a little bit. I mean, obviously Rodney Gallagher was kind of single-handedly able to get the Mustangs back into the game. But what did you kind of feel about the way the guys were able to stay composed? Even though they were able to, they lost that lead.
I felt like we were okay the whole game. Even in the first half, I thought we should have had maybe a 5 or 6 point lead at halftime. We missed layups. Believe me, we shoot 25, 30 foul shots a game. It doesn't look like that. If we hit our mark of 70% from the foul line, we win this game by 10 or 12 points.
Right.
Gallagher's Gallagher. He single-handedly, you're right, brought them back into the game, and he's a special player. We knew that was going to happen, but I think you got to give it up to Caden Holtzman. Even though he didn't show up for the summer league, I told you he could play defense, and he did as good as a job as you can do on Rod Gallagher. Listen, there's nobody in this state that's going to stop Rod Gallagher, but Caden Holtzman did a fantastic job. He missed 2 foul shots at the end of the JV game. He was real down, and boy, did he more than help us out there. Rob Robinson in foul trouble. He stepped up great. Kyrie Andrews was fantastic tonight on the boards. Colton did everything we asked him to do, rebound, block some shots, play tough. But Bryson's a special player, and he's one of the best guards in the Whitfield, like I told you guys in the summer, and I think people are going to see that now.
So, Coach, I got a couple questions. One, you got in a little bit of foul trouble in the second quarter. You kind of had to put a lot of substitutes in. That's when Laurel Highlands went ahead and took a little bit of the lead. What happened there? What was your decision making there?
Once you get 3 for the most part in the first half, you're going to have to sit. Now, Bryson, I don't know if he had 3 in the second quarter, early in the third, but he wasn't coming out. We couldn't take him out. So you trust guys, to stay out of foul trouble. But when you're talking Gallagher, Keandre DeShields, they're going to get you to foul them. I think us getting Keandre in foul trouble early was big for us because he's a special player too. But Rob had a couple fouls that we were on him for. They weren't good fouls. We need him in the game. And our bench, Fanon Marion, Dustin Strom, leading scorer last night. I don't even know if Dustin scored tonight, but this is the kind of team we have. Every night it could be somebody different, and I think that's why it's a special team this year.
Well, Dunny continued his performance from Summer League. He had 18 points and 12 rebounds, which is pretty much an average.
That should be what Dunny averages, yeah, about 18, 12 a game. Special player, a lot of fight. He knows a lot of these guys from AAU. And Dunny came in here this morning focused. He wasn't his usual dancing around, eating Flamin' Hot Cheetos self. He's a fun guy to be around, but he was locked in. I was like, dude, you mad at something? He said, no, I'm just ready to play today, Coach. That was at 9:30 this morning. So we knew what a big game it was. We know that, people weren't picking McKeesport to do anything, and that's fine. Actually, I appreciate them for doing that because I'd much rather be the underdog. We're from the port. We're automatically underdogs to begin with, so we're a lot better in that role than favorites, I'd say.
Andrews also played a big game for you.
Kyrie played fantastic. Kyrie, you put this in the paper, you coined a nickname, Baby Barkley, is what we've been calling him. Kyrie's only about 6'1", but he plays like he's about 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, he did
Tough
use
kid.
his body very well.
He knows how to use it. Naz, he'll be up at the Summer League next year too.
So early on in the game, you were doubling Rodney up top to try to get the ball out of his hands.
Yeah, we had an idea that we wanted to try that, and we were looking for ball screens. We want to trap ball screens all the time or fire on the ball screens. We had a game plan where we were going to trap Rodney a lot more, and we kind of got away from it because they got too many shooters. You got
Right.
Caleb. Big Eggy can knock down shots, and so it's almost like we had to play him straight up. We had planned to play some zone too like we did last year, but we didn't have to. Our man-to-man was good enough to win. 74 points isn't great defense, but against that team,
I think it's great defense, especially considering you had Palumbo with a single 3 during the game. You had the Shields with 1 bucket, and he had a total of 5 points.
That's pretty good.
Exactly. Jaden Pratt, did he surprise you at all?
Yeah, well, I actually knew about him because of some AAU stuff or whatever. So, no, not really. I pretty much knew everybody on their team.
He's new to their team this year as well.
Yeah,
correct?
but I've seen him around. I believe so. I don't think he was there last year, but I've seen him around AAU and stuff like that. So we know all these guys. There was no surprises or anything. They're old rivals of ours, and through the AAU connection, I coach with Coach Smith, the JV coach for the Easy Street family. So, we knew what was coming, and we were ready for it today.
So now let me ask you, do you think that these kids are going to become overconfident after knocking off Laurel Highlands?
I'm going to do my best to not let that happen because
Okay.
when we watch that film, there's a lot of stuff that I could show them that needs corrected. But we will enjoy it tonight. We're off tomorrow. We'll watch some football today and tomorrow and eat and gain a couple pounds on the couch. But Monday we will get back to work. In offensive rebound, they really beat us up on the offensive glass. We should win the rebound and battle every night. It's one of our goals. And I don't know if we did tonight or not. I'll have to look at the stats, but we got to do a lot better on boxing out defensively and getting that rebound.
Well, Jose and I were talking before the game. We felt that McKeesport had the advantage inside, and Highlands had a little bit better guard play. Kassan, who played point guard for you, also had 9 rebounds.
Yeah, Bryson Kassan last year had 6 rebounds on foul shots as a point guard.
Okay.
And I don't even know if anyone keeps that stat, but I've never seen anyone do that. If I need something done, including a sidewalk poured or shingles put on a roof, Bryson literally could do anything. You'll see me at times put him underneath in a foul shot because I know he's going to get the rebound. He's a special kid and a special player.
Is there anybody else you wanted in those final seconds with that shot, that three-point shot?
Well, the option was for him and Dunny. What we do is a give and go from the side. We ran it before and got a layup. So my thought was they're going to overplay that so Dunny could have turned around and had the jumper. But it worked out with Bryson, absolutely not, especially today. I would have been comfortable with either, but it worked out well. And I told him to miss the last foul shot. He tried to and made it. So it was one of those nights.
Everything is going well.
Yeah.
So that might be one area you definitely need to work on is the free throws.
Oh, yeah, you think? Yeah. We shoot 25 or 30, and I tell them if my mom shot 25 or 30 free throws, she'd be 70%. So we just have to get back to work on that and get better at that.
All right. Well, Coach, we appreciate you taking a few minutes to talk to us. Best of luck the rest of the way. A 2-0 start to the season. We look forward to seeing what you guys can do the rest of the season.
No problem. I thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you. And I actually got my digital online subscription to the Mon Valley Independent, and I'm not a paid advertiser. I just enjoy the paper.
There you go. Coach Kevin Kovac, a thrilling 77-74 victory for his McKeesport Tigers as they move to 2-0 on the young season. They will return to play next week, but a thrilling game here to this afternoon, and one that we kind of expected, and it was as advertised.
Well, that being our first game, I think we're going to have a very exciting season with MVI live broadcast.
Absolutely, yeah.
And planning out all the better games throughout the weeks. That's a great way to start off 2021.
Absolutely, a thrilling one here at the Nene Campbell Gymnasium. Thank you all for joining us. I am Jose Negron, joined by Naz Victoria and Joe Sabalak. Signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.
Go Steelers.